The National Museum of Women in the Arts opened in 1987, just 3 blocks from the White House.
In creating the museum, Mrs. Holliday began with a simple idea.
To show the contribution of women to the history of art. That really is it. Because nobody knew it.
And I walked in the front door, and there's all this marble and all this open space and all this beautiful art. And I just thought, my God, it's a palace to women's creativity.
Yeah, it gives you a feeling of power, like, wow, I missed all of this. And a lot of it, you know the art, but you didn't know it was women doing it, right?
Billy and Wally did this together. They created the collection, they created the museum. Mrs. Holliday oftentimes said that she relied on Wally's eye.
He was totally supportive, totally.
The collection for the museum really starts with The Cat and the Fish by Clara Peters.
I think anyone who looks at the Clara Peters painting of the fish and the cat can't help but know it's a great work of art. It's meaningful because it was the beginning. So I wondered why we didn't know her. Wally laughingly said maybe it's because she's a woman. And then we did research. She wasn't in any book we could find. Since we knew there had been great women artists, that would be the focus of our collection. And no idea about a museum.
You know, if you look at when she started this museum, she was in her 60s. And to me, that is just so inspiring, and I think it's something that's often overlooked. I think the best anecdote to talk about that passion and that tenacity is actually the purchase of this building.
It was originally a Masonic temple. It was in real disrepair.
It was a mess. The whole place was a mess.
But as she often says, Wally's ideas as an architect and saner heads prevailed. They bought the building for a very good price.
She saw the future. It reminds me a lot of my grandparents' connection. It was that combination of the two of them coming together that enabled them to purchase this amazing piece of property.
From the very beginning, I said, I really want a classy act. The design of the Great Hall with its 3 beautiful crystal chandeliers, they were given by 3 different women as gifts to the museum, to me is a classy act. So it fulfilled kind of a dream of mine.
When it opened, it was quite controversial.
Well, the feminists came and they said, this is some white glove establishment, this is not for us. And the old dowagers came and said, this is some feminist thing. They all printed it everywhere. And it helped put us on the map. My response was, you are absolutely right. It would be ideal if all the art was treated equally. Unfortunately, it's not.
Art can be a catalyst for social change and for empowering women and girls. Here I feel like women do have an equal footing with men. They've got a place of their own, and it is wonderful work, it's a beautiful place, and we can celebrate that.
The museum has made a great difference in the lives of women artists. For many of them, it's the first time their work is actually in a public collection. There was broken glass. There were pigeons roosting in an armoire. When they pulled out the artwork, the art began to flake off of the canvas itself. We gave them $150,000 for conservation to make these works whole. and then we showed them at the museum.
Dr. Piotrowski, he said, these paintings came from the Hermitage? And I said, yes. He said, are you sure? I said, I'm very sure. He said, I have never seen them before. Well, let me tell you, they're now all hanging in the Hermitage, and he tells me they'll be there forever. How many people could name 5 women artists from the Renaissance to the present? Eva Gonzalez,
Clara Peters,
Sarah Bernhardt,
Carrie Weems,
Lavinia Fontana,
Peter Coyne,
Elisabetta Serrani,
Julie Taymor. We're very careful to be able to tell important stories with the works that we have in the collection.
I must say that it's been very reassuring that we chose wisely. They listed 5 women who had brought in the most money, and we had all 5 of them. So many people have become interested and have been generous. Now there are 4,500 works for people to enjoy. The museum will continue to be solid.